Hello, beautiful people. It's been a while since I've actually got on here and done like a video. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Jaleesa, of course. I also go by JustJay. So I go by JustJay. I kind of started that when I started making these videos. And when I mean these videos, I make videos that focus on mental health, suicide awareness, and prevention. And the reason I started making these videos, again, for those of you who don't know, I did lose my baby sister, Selena. She was 18 years old when I did lose her. And my family and we lost her on October 26, 2020. Still fresh, but some time has passed. Rest in peace, baby girl. So like I've been talking about in my little brief videos, I did say that I was going to be focusing on this one about bipolar disorder, as it does fall in the category of, mental health and all that good stuff. Well, not good stuff. I don't know. But anyways, again, I am focusing on bipolar disorder. What is bipolar, do a lot of people ask? Bipolar disorder is a brain disorder that changes a person's mood, their energy, and honestly, their ability to function throughout the day. People with bipolar disorder experience very intense emotional states that they call mood episodes. And mood episodes, they typically occur during distinct periods of days to weeks, even. And people with BPD generally, they do have neutral moods, and if treated properly, they can lead full and productive lives. But it really all depends on the person's motivation. And at the end of the day, every person's different. It all depends on how severe it is. And those of you who are wondering what mood episodes is, when you break them down, mood episodes break down into the first category, which is manic and hypomanic. When you're manic or hypomanic, that typically means that you're abnormally happy, either that or you're like irritable. And of course, the other one is going to be depressive, which tends to, of course, be sad moods. So, the basics. I won't say my apologies, but, I commend you for continuing to fight your battle and still pushing forward. I know dealing with any type of mental health or anything like that is very difficult. Myself, I do suffer from anxiety, depression, and PTSD. And who knows what else, but we're not going to get into that. What a lot of people... Sorry, I need a drink. But what a lot of people don't know, that bipolar disorder is a little more broad. It's a category that includes 3 different types of diagnosis. And one which being bipolar 1. And a person is typically diagnosed with that when a person experiences a manic or hypomanic, like I mentioned, episode. And during a manic, people with bipolar 1 experience extreme and increased energy. And they may feel on top of the world, as some people might say. Either that or, like I mentioned, uncomfortably irritable. Or some people with bipolar 1 also experience depressive or hypomanic episodes, and most people with it also, like I mentioned, have neutral moods as well. There's also, of course, bipolar 2. And a diagnosis for this one requires someone to have at least one major depressive episode and at least one hypomanic episode. So I feel like this one is more of a mix of the both. And people with bipolar 2 often seek treatment first as a result of their first depressive episode. And since the hypomanic is more, happy, sometimes irritable, it often feels pleasurable when you have bipolar 2 and can even increase performance sometimes at work or school. And then, of course, in between the hypomanic and the depressive, people that do have bipolar 2 return to their usual functioning between these episodes. And then a side note for bipolar 2, people with this frequently have other mental illnesses, such as anxiety disorder, and the latter of which can exacerbate this. These symptoms can increase the depression and hypomania, unfortunately. And then last but not least is the cyclothymic. It's a milder form of bipolar disorder. It involves many mood swings, not necessarily mood episodes. And with this one, the hypomania and the depressive symptoms that occur frequently, they experience more ups and downs. But with less severe symptoms than, of course, the 1 and 2. So I am... And then I wanted to kind of break down more of what manic episodes, hypomanic episodes, a major depressive episode, so on and so forth. I wanted to break those down. A little note. Okie dokie. People with manic episode, well, actually, I shouldn't say people with. A manic episode typically is a period of at least 1 week when a person is extremely very high-spirited and irritable for most of the days, and it possesses more energy than usual. They experience at least probably 3 of the following changes, which is like a decrease of need for sleep, increase of faster speech. There's uncontrollable racing thoughts or quickly changing ideas or topics when speaking. There's distractibility, increased activity, increased risky behavior. And some people experience manic episodes also experience like very disorganized thinking, false beliefs, hallucinations, things like that. To go further, there's the hypomanic. It's characterized by a less severe manic symptoms that need to last where only 4 days in a row rather than a week. The hypomanic symptoms, they don't lead to major problems in daily functioning. And that's pretty much it. A major depressive episode, it typically is a period of at least 2 weeks in which a person has at least 5 of the following symptoms, including at least 1, maybe 2. There's intense sadness or despair, loss of interest in activities. There's feelings of worthlessness, ready to quit. There's guilt, fatigue, increased or decreased sleep, actually, with this one. And the same thing with the appetite. There's restlessness or slowed speech, difficulty concentrating, and frequent thoughts of like death or suicide. So that kind of covers it for those. This one was a little more informational. I do want to give, like I mentioned, my goal is to inform those of mental health and suicide awareness and prevention, and also possibly save lives by someone watching my video and realizing that it is something serious, and people do care, and so on and so forth. But I am gonna cut it short. Well, I don't know about short, but I am gonna cut it for tonight. I appreciate those who did tune in and interact with me tonight. I love you all. Again, my name is Jaleesa, Just Jay. Until next time, I love you guys.